Most people don't have the mental focus required to actually bring in somebody good in their love life.
Mental focus, logic.
Yeah, it is.
So there is logic in love?
Yeah, because most people, they just stop because they're hurt or they're needy or they want someone. You have to have a lot of mental discipline.
I just feel like I'm just losing in this game right now.
No.
Daily Logic Check. Welcome to the Girl Talk edition of Daily Logic Check, where we throw logic right out the window when we talk about love. And I think you all know what that means. I'm Elizabeth Vargas, your host, with my co-host, Andrew Vargas. Today, I am very excited to have Nicole Moore Love here.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. Happy to be here.
You're great.
I'm great.
I haven't seen you since you interviewed me.
I know.
It's so funny. So that's your real name.
No, Nicole Moore. Nicole Moore.
Nicole
I
Moore.
can't get Nicole Moore because Nicole Moore was a porn star
lady.
So I can't get NicoleMoore.com because there was a porn star named Nicole Moore. So I have Nicole
you don't
Moore
want to
Love.
be a porn star.
No.
I wanted to be one at one point, but it didn't happen. I'm just kidding.
So Nicole Moore Love.
Okay, Nicole Moore Love. So Andrew, I met Nicole. Who did I meet you from?
So Peggy was coming on my show.
Peggy from Orange County Housewives.
Yeah.
Okay.
She roped you in.
Oh, she wrote me in. That's right, Peggy. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
God.
I need all her secrets because she looks so freaking amazing.
I know. Okay, so you guys get us there.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I get fired, and I'm like, I didn't know you're still a housewife after you got fired. I thought
Forever.
Yeah, you're
It's
literally
like an
in this
Olympian.
culture of, Bravo. And so then I get this call, and I'm thinking, I get to still do housewife stuff because it was after COVID, right?
Yeah.
So I got to actually do some press, which I haven't been able to do. And so I get called. Peggy calls me. I'm like, sure, I'm going to go do this. And I get up there, and you got a full-on production. Mm-hmm. So what was your show called?
Reality of Love.
Reality of Love, and you still have it going on.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason I brought you on is because there's really no reality of love. There's no such thing as logic in love.
No,
is
it's
there?
illogical. Completely illogical. But
definitely
you
is.
can be smart. You can be as smart as you can and try and find good love, but it's illogical. Yeah.
So when she interviewed me, she interviewed all of us. She started kind of delving into. You're psychic, right?
So somewhat, yeah.
She's a mind reader, or a brain reader, or a body language reader. She's an everything reader because she put us in these separate little rooms, and it was kind of weird. I wasn't really used to being put on the spot about my love relationship because remember I hadn't had my last boyfriend didn't have sex with, and then
was this before or was this after Jimmy?
During the Housewives bleep didn't have. Remember they brought up the no sex thing, and then I told you I had a new love life, and you were all excited. And we talked about my ex-husband and who I was attracted to. It was weird. I'm not used to being put on the spotlight about my choices of men.
Yeah, but you did good.
You were also right on. And she made me think, so she did these tarot cards. Was it tarot cards? So those are your cards.
Yeah.
So I don't go to psychic people.
Yeah.
Because last time I did, they said my ex-husband was going to die broke and I was going to be wealthy. So I never went back because he's like, you're never going back to a psychic reader again. So you were my first for 20 years. And she's pretty much spot on with my relationship picks. So Nicole, I had you on today because I have a lot of housewives on the show. I know that you have an innate ability to help I have 97% followers on my Instagram, all my social media platforms. Actually, because Andrew's on this show, in his dumb shirts. What does his shirt say? Dead inside, but still horny.
I love it.
So I started this podcast out of the blue. I went to your show, and I actually learned. I watched your set. I watched your crew, and I'm like, God, this woman's busting her girl balls getting this show. I mean, you organized everything. I watched you. I watched hair, makeup. I was like, how is she doing this? This is insane. You had the full-on studio. And so I was like, I could do that eventually. Well, that was what, 2 years ago?
You can do it now.
Well,
you're doing it.
Well, yeah. So then I took that knowledge that you taught me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Well, I didn't know anyone to be on a show because you're solo, right? I mean, you have people come on, but you're solo, right?
Yeah, I'm the host, and then we have reality TV stars come on, and I talk to them about their love lives.
Right, but you're not a podcast. You're a show.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got these stuck in our mouths, and she's like free flowing in her studio, right?
I used to have a podcast.
Okay.
So I got, I had some practice with the podcast first.
Oh, you did?
For sure, yeah.
Okay. So Nicole, so we get there. We don't have any of this stuff. It's very open, and all the ladies get their hair and makeup done. They're beautiful, and she starts giving us advice. So I thought, gosh, what better woman to have on my show?
Yeah.
But Nicole Moore Love, talking about love on Girl Talk. And I have so many housewives coming on the show, and so many women that just, we all want to love. We all want to feel loved. We all want to know who's going to love us. Are we going to find our soulmate? Is there anyone out there for us? Yeah. And in my situation, I'm turning day after tomorrow, 49 years old. I'm not married. I'm divorced 3 times. How many times am I divorced?
At least twice.
Twice. I'd like to go on another husband because I love to be married. But, I don't know. Like, I have a man in my life right now that I love dearly. But I don't know if he's marriage material. Like, I don't know what's out there for me, but I love that companionship. And how do I find, like, say, for instance, women that don't have somebody. Like, I was lucky enough to find him. But he might not be here forever, right? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I want stability. And it's just hard these days to find stability. So as a woman right now, I'm divorced, no kids. I look like I'm kind of a weird anomaly, but there's a lot of women with children that are divorcing or are divorced that are like, well, am I ever going to find love? What is your suggestion to them, or where should they look? Should they go on dating apps? What should we do to find love? You've got to know.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I really, honestly, truly believe. You're always going to get back in your love life what's going on inside of you. We saw that when you came on my show, right? Like, you realized, oh, wait, I attracted my ex-husband because of the stuff from my past. So I really always tell people, go out, date, but use it as feedback. Like, that's actually the logical thing to do.
Use it as feedback.
Use your dating experience as feedback, because whatever you're getting is literally showing you what's inside of you. So if you're keep meeting men and they're missing something, right? They don't have everything you need.
They're emotionally unavailable, or they're super broke and don't want to get off the couch.
It's because of you. Like, this is what people need to realize.
Yeah.
It's because of you.
Because I'm out of shape or overweight
or what?
No.
It has
it's what you're
nothing
attracted to.
It's what you're attracted to. So you were always going to attract back basically this. The things you believe you can have easily, you're going to attract that easily. Like, check, it's done. You don't have to worry about that. The things you think are hard to get because you never got them in the past, or your parents didn't give it to you, or you're going to have a really hard time with that. But not everybody has the same hard time with all of these things. You were always attracting what's inside of you. So I always tell people, like, go out, date, go on the apps, but don't get mad at what you're getting back. Look at it as feedback and say, what do I believe that's causing me to attract this? What's in my energy that's causing me to attract this? And if you change that, I've seen this in every single one of my clients. When they first start working with me, they're not getting what they want, right?
Right.
When they change their thoughts, when they change their feelings, really when they heal that stuff from the past, it really is like a whole new kind of person comes into your life.
Okay, so does it stem from starting with the swipe? Like, you're going to swipe right or left, right? I've never done the app thing.
Yeah. I met my husband on Tinder, so.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yes.
Andrew, you don't date right now, obviously, but what did you ever go on one of those apps?
No, because I live in a small town and you know everybody.
Okay.
And that's
okay. Well, see, I would challenge you on that. Like, I have had clients who are in small towns. So this is what I'm talking about. You see, people talk about their love life and they think that the things they say are true and they don't realize their limits. Like, you say, I live in a small town. No, you can still attract somebody in. Why? Somebody could visit your town and go, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to open my app. And you could just meet them right there in one day. So a lot of people, they'll say, this is how it is. There's no great people out there. And they don't realize you're literally speaking that limit, and everybody else will agree with you. So that's how we get stuck.
Oh, okay. So let's back up for my audience. First off, credentials.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to want to know, why are you giving everybody advice on their love life? Who the heck are you? And why are you sitting on my couch?
Yeah.
So where are you originally from?
Okay, so I'm from New York. Born and
You're
raised.
East Coast. That's why I
Upper
love
East
you.
Side.
Yeah.
I'm a Cali girl, but with a New York vibe. So literally my journey started in childhood. So I was born premature. I'm a twin. This was
You're a twin.
Yeah.
Where's your twin?
She's in New York still. Okay. So they told my mom, don't get it. So we're premature. They told my mom, don't get attached to these babies because they're going to die. This was in the 80s.
Ouch.
Doctors did that back then. I don't know. And so I was in the incubator for, I think, 6 weeks. My sister
Really?
came home before me, and something happened in my mom. Like it freaked her out. Like she shut off. Both my parents never said I love you to me. My mom didn't say I love you until I was 26. I told her first. She couldn't even get the words out. She just said me too. Like that's how.
Scared that she was going to lose you, so just that PTSD
Yes.
just blocked her?
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow,
my whole
and that's
life.
unfortunate for you.
Yeah. So I grew up my whole life literally thinking I'm not lovable. Like I have so many instances where I was just like, my parents don't love me. I mean, now I know they do, but like that is how I felt. And also my twin sister, my mom seemed to favor her. She still kind of does. So it was like this thing of like, I'm not loved.
You're like the outcast, the twin outcast.
Yeah.
Of your own family.
Oh, that is horrible.
It was hard. And so of course when I started to actually date, I mean, I wasn't great. I was a psychopath. Like literally.
Were you a Klingon?
Yeah.
You know, we're like, don't leave me. I have separation anxiety.
I couldn't sleep. If I didn't get a text back from a guy I liked, I literally couldn't concentrate. I couldn't sleep. Like it was bad. And I didn't attract great stuff. And so finally I had to realize, like, what am I doing? Now, at the same time, I was very young. I was like 22. I couldn't drink because I had a stomach condition at the time. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know. I can't go out in New York. So
was your stomach condition a direct result of your anxiety from your past?
Yeah.
Okay,
and I also was like partying too hard in
okay.
college.
It has to do with the vodka and the alcohol.
Yeah. But so I couldn't go out, and I literally thought my life was over. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I went to the bookstore on like Saturday morning, and I went to the personal development section, and I just would like study.
Oh, so you wanted to self-heal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to, because I was like sick and I didn't know what else to do.
This isn't working. We need
No,
to
but that's
change.
great that you were self-aware enough that you needed to get help or something was not going to go right.
So I started doing that. Anyway, I got into this relationship with this person that I thought was my soulmate. Turns out he was not. He was an emotionally abusive, serial cheating, real true narcissist, horrible person. But at that time, I decided to go to life coaching school. I was working in PR, and I don't know. I went to the seminar.
And you're in New York at this time still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to go to life coaching school. So I went to NYU. They had a life coaching certification, and I thought, like, I can really do this. And so I got certified. At the time, I wanted everybody to have love. I thought I was in a great relationship. I didn't realize I wasn't. And I had to leave that relationship. But at the time I was in that bad relationship, I was already helping people find love.
Did you leave that relationship because you found somebody else that loved you more, or did you leave solo?
I left solo. So he cheated on me again with his ex-wife that I was involved with.
Oh, you met somebody that young that had an ex-wife?
Yeah, yeah. And so
that sounds like too much baggage.
That was, but the thing is that I was so addicted to that relationship, like no matter how much he hurt me, I stayed and stayed until he left me alone on New Year's, one New Year's.
That sounds familiar, Andrew.
Yeah, and I don't know, something in me, I realized this isn't love. And so I left when I realized it wasn't love. And I think a lot of people stay in these bad relationships because they think it's love. But the second it really clicked in me, like, this is not love, I left. But I was devastated.
Wow.
You know, I was, yeah.
So wait, because this just happened to me. Oh my God. So does that mean, interesting. So how did you leave him? Like, because that's hard when you're codependent, you grew up, anxiety, separation anxiety.
It was horrible.
What'd you do? Just decide one day to drink a bunch of
How
champagne?
long were you guys together before
How long
this?
were you together?
Like 4 years.
And that was New
wow.
York. Okay, so then you left him, then what?
So I cried like every day.
Okay.
But
your work didn't suffer. You actually grew.
No. Okay. So my life at the time was coaching a client, hanging up the phone, crying on the floor, bawling. Oh, next client, gotta go, gotta help them, hang up, cry. Like it was insane. But coaching the clients actually saved me in a way because I had to be so present for them to help them. I had to get out of my own way. And
Wait, did you go to school for this? Did you say?
Yeah, I went to life coaching school, and then I just.
But what school did you go to?
NYU. They have a certification.
Okay, so you got the certification.
So yeah, that was rough. But and he, narcissists, they always try and come back in.
Yeah.
So I would block him and everything. He'd be like following me on YouTube and all this stuff. It was weird. Every time I had like a new date.
Narcissists are bad.
Yeah, he would pop up. He would message me like the day after I went on a date. He would message me, and I'd be like, "What is happening? How can you feel this?"
Yeah.
But I had to heal. But that experience made me realize, like, I can help other people find love, but if I don't heal this within myself, I'm not going to get it for myself. So I had to kind of apply my own teachings.
Okay. So
much.
then you heal. You're in New York, and how old are you at this time?
Okay, so I was like 30 or 31. And the weird thing is I was meditating a lot at the time, and I heard a voice say, "You're going to have a baby when you're 32, so get prepared." And I don't hear like, that was so weird.
You're like, "I'm not schizophrenic, I promise."
And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, what?" And at the time I was single, and I'm like, I don't even know how that timeline could work.
Right.
But it ended up coming true. But I had to move to California to meet my love. And I moved to California.
Why California? You just...
Because I had an intuitive feeling.
Oh, okay. So you're just innately kind of intuitive where California's my vibe. I just feel it.
I knew that I had an intuitive feeling that the love of my life was in California.
Okay.
So I'm in New York, I'm dating still. And then one day my friends are like, "Nicole, like, you're such a badass. You go after everything. You keep saying that you want love, and you keep saying that your love is in California. So why aren't you going?" And I literally booked the ticket after that dinner. Like, I'm like, they're right. So I booked the ticket to move to California.
What part of California did you move to?
I moved to San Diego because I had one
Oh, so
friend.
the cool area, the nice chill. Okay.
Yeah. And I met him 3 months after I moved.
Your husband?
Wow.
Yeah.
Right now, your husband right now?
Yeah, my husband right now.
Wow. So how many years ago was this? Because you're young.
I'm going to be 40 next month. Yeah.
You're in your 30s still? Girl, God dang it.
Yeah.
What is up with these women coming on my podcast that are in their 30s? Come on, I need to like get some older.
So I met him when I was 31. And I had a baby when I was 32. Like the prophecy said.
What's his name? What's his name?
My husband's name is Mike, and my son's name is Luke. Yeah.
Oh, Luke. Oh, my God. Mike and Luke. That's so great. It's like a Star Wars edition.
Yeah.
Okay. So you stayed in San Diego, and then you still did life coaching, or what?
Yeah.
So let's start with, now that you got your family, you feel love. He's great. I met him, by the way. He's like running around on set with you. Very, very handsome. So my question is, how does Luke now?
He is 7 now.
7.
Yeah,
okay. So 7 years ago, you're still doing life coaching, but for who now? Because I mean, you started getting on television. You're on all these. So how did your ambition grow? What did you do?
So, I mean, I always kind of knew, like, first of all, when I was in life coaching school, I just had this thought, and I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be the most successful person in this class. I just knew it.
You manifested too, I bet. Yeah.
I kind of like, I don't know, I knew. I mean, anybody else who went to school with me, if you're successful, like, I love that. I'm not really trying to compete, but it was more like, I just had this feeling. So I did everything to get clients in the beginning that you could think of. I went to BNI, which is like a networking thing. It's this networking thing that you go to at 6 a.m. in the morning, and there's everybody from different professions, and you give like a 1-minute spiel about what you do. And I felt so awkward because I was in my 20s at the time, and I'm like, I'm a life coach. And everybody else is like a lawyer.
You haven't lived to be a life coach. How can you be a life coach?
Yeah. That was the thing at the time. Everybody used to always tell me, like, you're so young. Now I wish people would tell me you're so young, because now I'm like,
you're like, I'm a seasoned life coach.
But the point is that was horrifying for me. I have like a huge fear of public speaking. Like,
really?
Yes.
Not anymore.
Yeah. No. If you still put me in front of a stage, I'd be
Welcome
scared.
to Nicole Moore Love. She was your host forever.
But so I would put myself everywhere where women might be. I went online. I mean, I did a lot of
AA
stuff. I didn't do AA, no. But I did actually purchase AA when I was in my 20s, the book, not because I was alcoholic, but because I was so addicted to negative thoughts.
12-step program?
And I thought, like, maybe I'll learn something in this book, because I had a real negativity
You want to
addiction.
just heal yourself so bad. That's great.
Yeah, I was obsessed with
healing yourself.
Because I didn't want to feel bad. Because I literally would walk around New York sometimes and I'd be like, have I died? Is this hell? That's how bad I felt emotionally.
Yeah, because your parents were alive when you felt this way. There's a lot of people that lose their parents and walk around like that. There's nothing they can do. Your parents are literally sitting at home, not doing anything about how you're feeling. That must. I'm sorry you went through that. That's not
But
good.
I've met so many people that they've had similar stories. And
so you're in California now.
Yeah.
You're healing yourself. You're still going through all this. So while you're actually, I think the fact that you having to heal yourself has really helped you heal others, right? So is that how this whole...
Yeah.
So then you tell me about the television thing and how you started getting a broader audience.
So I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I kind of strategically positioned myself that way. I started getting a lot of press. I mean, I also have a degree in public relations, so I know how to get myself in the press. So I kind of just was like, what do I need to do to get this thing happening? So I knew I need media attention. I need to kind of like look like a big deal.
Yeah,
So that's what I did first. I started going to events. I connected with some housewives, some people in the entertainment
How'd you
industry.
connect with housewives anyway?
I went to like gifting suites and stuff like that.
Gifting suites.
And
okay.
I did like, I did my little card reading at...
You look kind of like the psychic, you know. I don't see you in a little box, in a little glass box where I put a quarter in, but you definitely look
I did
like...
that. Like I did like love readings for Lynn Curtin, who's also an OC housewife at one of her events. Like I just kind of put myself out there and started making connections. Then I got some clients from, you know, reality TV shows.
And your husband's supporting you this whole time.
Yeah, and so it built from there. And then the TV thing, I knew I wanted to be on TV. So I basically came up with show ideas. I had my pitches ready to go.
And you're still on Bespoke TV, right? Okay.
Yeah, and so they found me in a clubhouse room speaking about love and relationships, and they said, like, you were the only one who was actually just trying to help people and not, like, really pitch yourself.
Right.
And so they noticed me, and then they connected, but I already had my pitch ready to go, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what I always say, you know, that's what a lot of our friends say, like, or a lot of our successful friends say, that it's not luck. You're ready. That luck just happens to be that moment that chance is there.
You have everything ready and prepared, so that way you can take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. So I prepped for a long time. I knew where I wanted to go, and I kind of just looked at, like, what do I need in place?
By the way, Andrew has a daughter. He's listening to your story because everything. I want him to learn a lot about Girl Talk
She's
today.
13.
Yeah.
Because his daughter is so beautiful. She's just such a great. I don't ever want her to have a hard time going through anything, or her to have a childhood like we had, or like you had, because
her childhood is amazing.
Her childhood is
She is definitely blessed.
So then she'll probably attract good people in her life.
That's my fingers crossed. I want her to know know her worth.
Yeah.
And to don't settle for something that's below you.
Yeah. If you tell her that, she's going to take
and
that.
I do like every day.
Yeah.
And he also has taken his time, where what you went through and what we went through, where he wants to be there for his daughter, to show her that love.
Yeah.
So she's used to it.
Yeah.
When you're not used to getting a hug or love, when you get older, like when I got older, I didn't even know a guy hugging me. I was like, or saying I love you.
Yeah.
I can barely say it to this day.
Can you say it to him or no?
Yeah, we say it all the time.
Family all the time, but it's other than that, it's hard.
Somebody else like, I love, but do you? Or do you love my vagina? Like, what do you love? what do you love about me right now? you know? And is it just... Yeah, so then you started connecting with everybody. Back to the logical part of how she became her beautiful self. I really wanted my audience to connect with you because I love your personality, and I think you are very intuitive. And there's rare people in my life that I meet that actually understand the psychology behind the human behavior. And you have that innate ability, but you've also been through. Now that I understand you, now I know why you are who you are, because I knew there had something you had gone through, and I didn't know what, and I'm so oddly thrilled.
The emotional suffering.
You were emotionally suffering, because I emotionally suffered as well, but I also have that innate ability, but I didn't get into that field. I want to help others, but this show is helping me release what I want to do, which is help people and educate people on different fields that they might want to get into, or today, love. There's so many of us during COVID, so many people got divorced, so many people are having a hard time because they spent all that time during COVID, and I guess they got, what was the rate of divorce during COVID?
It was high. I mean, people really realized, like, I don't want to be with you, you know? Like, it was bad.
If I'm stuck in a room with you, I don't want to be here.
Why do you think that is, though? I mean, if you married this person, it was like till death do you part. What's the percentage of divorce these days?
I don't feel that way anymore. I think it's like over 50% or something. I mean, most people don't feel that way, that it's till death do us. I don't.
So is a term marriage then? When you get married, you should expect a term, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I said you should expect to do a 10 term, a 20 term, and a 30 term, or a life term. Life term sounds horrible. I mean, I feel like I'm already miserable and sweating thinking about it. Yeah. But if I'm in my 60s, a life term isn't so bad.
Yeah.
But if I'm in my 20s, a life term sounds fucking horrible. I feel like
I don't think people should get married.
You don't have that many holes in your body for a life term.
Daily Logic Check.
And this is my podcast is all about making people think, right? So there are people that get knocked up at 20, 25, 30, that don't have an abortion, that stay, you know, that have the baby, and that their parents tell them to get married. What is your take on like getting married young and for no reason versus getting married young for a reason? Like, is there any formula you could think of that in their 20s, there's no reason to get married in your 20s?
Because you don't know yourself. Like, most people don't know who they are in their 20s. So how can you be with somebody?
I agree.
You know, you're going to pick the usually
even if you get pregnant in your 20s, I don't think you should get married because you have a baby.
Yeah. I agree.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I never understood that whole married at teenage show, teenage baby mama, whatever the heck that was. Where they were like, they should get married to the baby daddies.
Oh, like 16 and pregnant.
Because then you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck in a way that you're not if you're not married.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Like, in your 20s, you don't think kids could, because I call them kids. I mean, I was a child. If I can't imagine my first marriage. I was in my 20s. He wrote on my hand, he was a pilot for
pilots.
United Airlines. He wrote on my hand in a bar, "Marry me, fly for free."
Like when you first met?
Yeah.
And you liked that?
And I married him.
Wow.
Because I thought, oh, free first class tickets, sweet. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And we annulled it, and he was very abusive, extremely abusive, very controlling. The minute I got married, he wanted to have babies and me to get out of college. I was like, remember?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name, but it was
a disaster. It was a disaster.
He tried to like literally abuse me in the worst way to keep me in this house. And I remember my brothers were like, we're getting you out of this house because I attracted my father. My father was very abusive.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See?
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted. I thought that's what I wanted. I literally attracted my dad. He was my spitting alcoholic image of my dad. So I divorced him, and I'm like, so now I'm older, and I'm like, I would never recommend to any woman to get married in her 20s.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, because you don't know. Like, you're usually recreating your patterns at that point.
Right.
You know? And so I think
in your 20s, you're recreating your patterns.
Yeah. I mean, listen, people in their 60s could still be recreating their patterns, of course. But in your 20s, it's pretty hard not to just recreate what you've learned. And most people haven't learned good love, right? Like your daughter's now learning what good love is, but most people haven't. So they're just gonna take what they can get. Most people are taking what they can get, bottom line, in their love life. And if you
Why is that?
Because people just are desperate for love.
Andrew, Andrew's not desperate for love. No. How come I can't live like
because
Andrew?
I've like she's done my whole entire life. I've made sure to work on the inside of me. That's like one of the most important things is my mental health. And I know my daughter's mental health depends on my mental health being stable. So I've always worked on my mental health. That's why I could be single, I could be with somebody. I don't need anybody. I just want somebody.
But do you have hookups?
What's that?
Do you have hookups?
What do you mean?
Like, or do you just date? Are you dating?
Well, yeah. I'm dating, but I know what makes me happy, and I don't lie about who I am. Mm-hmm. Like I don't
He's
lie
fully
about.
honest.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. Because how are you going to meet a partner if you're not honest about who you are?
Yeah, exactly. And so I know that I've had patterns, and as long as I understand,
I need to have a cocktail.
This is the pattern that I choose, and as long as I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm very socially and relationship. I know what I get into. I know if I think, is it going to work? Is it not? Is this just for fun? Is this trying to make it something? Oh, well, it's not going to become something. Don't just stick with it.
Yeah.
You have to move on, because comfort is the killer of relationships.
Yeah. See, he's using logic.
Yes. I'm really logical.
Would you say comfort is the killer of what?
Of relationships. Everybody stays in relationships just to be comfortable because they're not happy. They're just comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So because I stay in relationships even though they're so damn dysfunctional because everyone tells me, well, just you get what you get, and he's good. He's missing all these pieces, but you're
who's
fine.
telling you this?
And I'm like, dude, I literally deserve better. Like I work my ass off to better me on a regular basis. To not be a freaking drunk like my dad, I work my butt off to be my self-love. And I choose these tards that have issues galore.
But you know what the issue is with that? Like, so the more people you choose that are, crappy, they hurt you. And then they make you feel subconsciously like you don't deserve more. Like that's
Well,
the hard part.
I think I found a good one now, but I mean, it took me a long time. I'm like turning 49 this Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't get married in your 20s or your 30s. Just keep cruising through those years. No, my 40s are my best years. And I feel very confident as a woman. I built my real estate empire beautifully. I have my vodka company. I feel like I'm stable. I don't need money. I don't need a man for money. I feel very confident, but it's hard to find, now that I'm successful, it's hard to find a man that appreciates that. So now I'm stuck in this, she's way high maintenance, she needs way too much. I feel like I'm never gonna be enough for a man. I feel like I'm not skinny enough, I don't have blonde enough hair, I don't have big enough tits.
It's the people
I have
that
too
you
big
want.
of tits, I'm too tall, I'm too this.
That's you going for the guys that look for that.
Yeah, you're never gonna be enough
not them
for those guys.
hitting on you.
But I mean, I found one now that's like, I mean, I'm juice. Like
So
I
what's the
was
missing thing?
180 when I met him, and he's like, "You're beautiful as shit." I'm still with him
But you said you don't know if he's marriage material.
because he had a substance abuse issue, and I think that he's over it now. I
Yeah.
think but things like that are like do you now that I'm an older woman, I know you've got to meet somebody with baggage because that age, if they're age appropriate, which he is, they're going to have issues.
Yeah.
And, I really adore being with him. And it's just a matter of, taking the time, though, to make it work. I'm not really in a hurry to get married or to anything.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy somebody's time sitting on my bay house. Traveling. Andrew and I went to Skibo Castle and we traveled. I want to be with a loved one and travel. I mean, I love my brother, but I mean, I'd love to go with like go have sex in a suite.
Significant other.
Andrew, fuck off. I got my boyfriend here.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, and so
I'm gonna go see Loch Ness.
I don't mind traveling with my family, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have a man to take me on a trip instead of me doing everything. And so I guess
More of a traditional role.
I just haven't really traditional role.
Yeah.
Like I love a man. I love a manly man. I want a Viking fucking cowboy
alpha.
with money.
Yeah.
And it's not money. It's success.
Yeah, it's just
it's money is a bad word. For me, money has never they used to call me an opportunist gold digger. Fuck yeah. It's not about digging that gold. It's that man that can find it that turns me on.
Yeah.
The intellectually stimulating individual that lion and that group of cubs that can beat the rest and then come out on top. And yeah, money came with that. Money's part of it, is an aftermath.
Usually your success to be a alpha male and you're
I
really
love
driven.
the alpha male that's
You
smart.
end up with
I
money.
need that brilliant, and
Yeah.
I need to be stimulated. If I see some dumbass that inherited it, I can't take it. I cannot take. And then they just blow their wad. I'm like, you're not blowing your wad in me or for me. Like, you just get away. Like, this ain't happening.
Got to say earmuffs,
So,
Elizabeth.
yeah, earmuffs. This is not a
wanna hear
children's
this.
show. This
no,
is like,
no, for me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Andrew. I keep forgetting. I'm talking to Nicole, and I'm like my brother sitting there. Sorry, Andrew. Dead inside. Okay.
Yeah. This is my world. I hear that go. So.
But it's funny because I know I'm not alone in this. Like women that are successful, there's a lot of successful women these days because the doors have opened for us significantly. Now, granted, they're trying to take us back from our pedestal right now with all this other bullshit going on. A woman that fucking ovulates is a woman. I'm sorry, but unless you ovulate, you ain't a fucking woman. So I'm just saying right now that ovulating, going through what we're going through, trying to meet a husband that has a dick with a sperm and get pregnant, this shit's real.
Yeah.
Like you can't get pregnant in your asshole. You can get pregnant in your vagina. Okay, and this vagina is a disaster. It's like fuck. I mean, having bacteria
Why you would choose that?
going to gynecologists, fucking dealing with periods, dealing with menopause, hair falling out, not falling out. Fucking this shit is real. So to find a man that just accepts you while you're trying to heal yourself, and while you're trying to just be a woman, is a blessing. And it seems like the men out there just aren't there. It's hard to find them. Where did they go?
Yeah. Well, there's a gap, right? There's a
there?
gap. There's definitely a gap.
Okay, explain this gap.
Most men are not, women are advancing faster than men, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's true.
We always have those.
We stop at 18.
Yeah, and like I'm of the mindset that it really doesn't matter if there's 99% of people out there that are crap. Who cares? Who cares?
Just need one.
You got to focus. Like love is
No,
about
I saw
focus.
the bean test. What movie was that where they did the beans? Where she's like, okay, out of 100 beans,
Yeah.
you got this many beans that are males that are available that
Yeah,
are.
I mean, a lot of them suck, but that doesn't matter. Like, this is a thing. Most people don't have the mental focus required to actually bring in somebody good in their love life. Like, it's not about emotion. It's about mental focus. It is logic.
Mental focus, logic.
Yeah, it is.
So there is logic in love?
Yeah, because most people, they just stop because they're hurt or they're needy or they want someone. You have to have a lot of mental discipline.
I just feel like I'm just losing in this game right now.
No.
Like, I was smart.
You got to have mental discipline because you basically have to not think how everybody thinks about their love life, and you have to think differently. Like, you got to really operate with a higher mindset if you want to find something really good.
What do you mean by operate with a higher mindset?
So most people think, everything out there is crap. I just can't find what I want. And they're just like, look, it's all crap. And they talk about how it's all crap. And they get together with their girlfriends and they talk about how crappy it is. And all that does, it's fun. But all that does is make you feel stuck.
Like crap.
But if you really understand like that you were just looking to attract one person, you just have to focus on that one person. What I mean is, what does that person really feel like?
Viking.
People you're
Cowboy.
yeah, you know the energy, right?
Nice dick.
Yeah.
Smart.
So can you just imagine that it's just like it's not a person, it's just a ball of energy.
Can afford himself.
Yeah.
Oh, if I could screw a ball of energy without a guy attached.
Exactly. But
Sold.
all you're really doing at the end of the day is bringing that energy to you.
Oh,
That's it.
I'm manifesting the wrong thing.
That's it. You're manifesting the energy you don't want, but you need to focus on what you do want and believe that you can call it in. Because we can all call people in. You've thought about somebody and they called you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You can call
it is very
your
weird.
person in, right? So this is like it's logical, but it's woo-woo. If you know what your person feels, like I called in a California guy with a little bit of New York neuroticism because I wanted that. I got to
where's
California.
he from originally?
He's from California. But if you feel his energy, because I got to California, I'm like, I don't want these surfer
Maybe
dudes.
his roots, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need a California guy, but he has to have a little bit of a New Yorker vibe. And that's my husband because I focused on what I wanted and I believed I could draw it in. And did I meet a bunch of guys who were shitty? Yeah, but who cares?
I kind of like the surfer guy. You don't have to think a lot.
but okay, this is what you have yet to realize.
What? Oh, great. Here we
You
go.
can get all the qualities that you want. You just don't believe you can, but you can. You can imagine being with somebody who literally had everything. You can have it.
I'm gonna cry on my Tinder app.
Yeah. No.
Wait, what app is the best for me to swipe right or left?
I like Tinder because it's easy.
What is Tinder again?
Tinder's just you swipe. Okay, but when I was doing Tinder, I just like swipe. I didn't read the profiles that much. I'm like swipe. Let's see who messages me. I only talk to the people who message me because I don't want a guy who's like wants me to make the first move. So I only talk to the guys who message me. And then I just went, do I like this? Do I not like this? Do I have a feeling? My husband put keeping it zen in his profile, and I was like, I like that. And that was it. But all his pictures were sideways and also had sunglasses. So I'm like, is this guy cross-eyed? Is he hiding
Does he have a
something?
lazy eye?
But here's the thing. Somebody had told me you should say yes to every guy who's 36. A dating coach, actually, who I interviewed, he said you should say yes to every guy who's 36 who asks you out. And I was like, that's so random.
Why?
It must be like God speaking to me or something. Like I literally was like, that's random advice, but I'm going to take it. And my husband was 36. And I was going to cancel the date with him because I was working. It was a Sunday.
He's 43 now then, right? So
he's 45 now.
Oh, 45 now. Okay.
I was going to cancel the date because I was working all day. It was a Sunday. But like I hustle, right? And but I didn't cancel because he was 36. And so like, you see what I'm saying? Like there's just like sometimes random stuff happens where, you know.
Is there a dating app in your town?
They're everywhere. The same app as all over the country, all over the world.
What about the Bumblebee?
I'm not a fan of Bumble for women because you have to message first, and I literally do not know any client who has met or person who's met their actual good partner on Bumble.
So Bumble's a hookup sex site, like Grindr.
It's like I don't know. It's passive guys.
Okay.
I don't know what's on there, but I just personally have never known anybody. I've had clients meet on Tinder, on Hinge, on Match.com.
Oh, Hinge.
Plenty of fish even. But
okay.
not,
What about Farmer for Hire? Farmer Me?
No.
I don't know.
No, Jew.
Only farms.
Jews and farms.
I don't know.
But
Oh wait, Preachers and Farms. What was that one? They're all different,
no,
right?
there's
you know
lots
that
of them.
I used to own singlereadytomingle.com.
Oh, really?
But I let it expire and someone grabbed it. It's for sale for $10,000 now.
Oh,
I'm so
man.
pissed.
yeah. You can. I mean, honestly, like I like Tinder because it's just easy, and everyone goes on Tinder. I feel like at least once, right? Like everybody does. So I feel like it's catching everybody.
The way I found out about those apps, I shouldn't say this, but I'm not going to say with the timeline, but I met a man, and I remember going, and I hear this ding, 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 and he goes to the bathroom. And I don't ever look at phones. I don't believe in snooping at the phones. If I find out something, I'll always find out something I don't like. My ex-husband, I just couldn't. I knew I would never survive my marriage if I looked at his phone. So I never did. And this one guy, though, I kept hearing ding. I'm fucking finally in bed and, naked. I look over and it's ding, ding, and it says Tinder, or the one with the fire sign.
Yeah, Tinder.
That's Tinder. Okay. Ding, 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 all these names. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I took a picture of it because I didn't know what it was, but I knew it had to be something because one had a heart on it. All these different names are popping up. And it's like he didn't have service, then he had service. So it all just pops up, your notifications. That's how I found out what Tinder was. And I Googled it and I'm like, after I just got this guy, I bought him all these suits, made him look good. He's like,
what?
Yeah, he was good in bed. So I was like, well, I'll take care of him a little bit. That was my first mistake. I was like a sugar mama. And then I was like, no, this ain't happening. Now I'm making him look good, not for me, for these other women. And that's how
that sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of dating wrong, oh my God, I just want to melt in my chair.
This is what I do to people.
Daily Logic Check.
No, but also I realized I don't want to, in Orange County when I started dating, it was like, thank God COVID hit because, not thank God, but for dating, because I was going through my divorce. My ex wasn't, it was a disaster. I was just like, I was attracting the wrong guy. I was paying to be with these guys, taking them shopping and being a sugar mama. They just looked at me. I was because the housewife thing, everyone's like, she's loaded, so let's, all these hot guys that I thought were really attracted to me were just what can I get out of her? And I became a massive target for these really good looking, young guys. And obviously I became a big target to the extortionist. Yeah.
What's her name? Jen, the one that's on the OC now with Ryan and
Oh, I don't.
It was a whole storyline last season that maybe he's using
I
her.
never watched it. Oh.
Yeah, it happens a lot, I think, in the OC.
Which one's Jen?
She was on the newest season, and it's a whole storyline of is her guy with her.
Oh, is Jen the doctor one?
No, she's yoga or yeah.
I didn't watch.
Is the guy with her because of money?
Because of he wants fame, Yeah.
Oh, so I know Noella married the guy for the show, and then he was a tax fraud guy, and then ended up getting divorced from him because she got fired or something. I was like, why would you marry somebody for the Housewives? That's so ridiculous.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But anyway, we won't go into their drama. That's all I know, and I know that because it made the newspaper. I don't watch the show, neither does my brother. We didn't even watch our show.
I know. I never watched the show she made me be on.
I just love the people that are involved in the Housewives because there's so much random weird drama that.
I just did it for her. I want my sister to be happy, and I had time, so.
And Andrew's on this show because I really, I was so tired of doing dumb, Nicole. I just couldn't talk to many more dumb people in my life.
Yeah.
Going out in Orange County,
Yeah.
I can't sit there and listen to a conversation.
It's bad.
I would call my mom. I'm
home.
like, I was depressed. I was like, I can't date. I can't talk to these men. They're just ridiculous. They have nothing. They don't impress me even the slightest.
Yeah.
I was sitting at home like, this is miserable. And I thought, what am I going to do with my brain? I'm like, I'm going to bring smart people on that are top of their industry, talk to them, educate an audience that I built through the Housewives. I use the Housewife audience. My audience is smart as shit. The people that stuck with me after I got fired, that didn't disown me on Instagram, or what do they call it? Unlike me, whatever.
Unfollow.
Unfollow. I mean, I'll post one video and I only have 85,000 followers. I'll have 85,000 views. I'm like, and they're all like my followers. I'm thinking, I really have that many people that want to listen to me. And so I thought, if that's the case, I have a good man in my life right now. My brother was so great I said, Andrew, I want to do something smart. I'm smart, but I want to be in entertainment. I don't want to do. And he's like, And I woke up, I said, I'm going to do the freaking podcast.
Yeah.
And I get to have people like you on that are so smart. You're very well mannered. You know what you're talking about.
She gets to pick your brain.
I get to pick your brain, but also I think that I'm asking questions that other women would want to know. And I think they're asking as well. And I didn't come from the best upbringing. So, everybody on the Housewives knows my shit now. It's out there. So I gave up to Andrew. I'm like, I'm tired of being this perfect princess because I ain't one. And I came from Missouri. You can take the girl out of the trailer park. You can't take the park out of the girl. So I'm like, this is me with a little bit of money. And so I thought, I have the means to really bring a cool atmosphere. And, I think a lot of self-growth and self-awareness is understanding where you want to go at certain stages of your life, right? And that also, would you agree, comes with self-love, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I feel like I'm just slowly learning after that extortion, the gun to my head, and really attracting. I sat there and was like, what the fuck am I attracting?
Yeah, that was a big moment, right?
No,
and then while it was happening, she's
out.
telling me, she's like, I don't know what I'm thinking.
I saw that in the news. I
attract-
read about it in page 6.
Yeah,
Dude,
she was.
I don't know what I was
but
attracting.
Before even there was any news to be newsworthy, she was telling me, what am I doing? And I'm like, I live up in Washington, so I couldn't come and what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I
was lost.
Yeah.
After my divorce, I was depressed big time. It's a big loss to get divorced. I mean, after 20 years of being with somebody, knowing he chose hookers and sluts over me, and it makes me feel horrible.
Yeah.
And then these slutty girls that he's dating are trolling me online, but I know they were banging him while we were married, and I'm just like sitting there going, it was just a disaster for me. Then to be on the Housewives and have one of them contact my ex and bring up my childhood, Nicole, I was a wreck.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I attract some loser extortionist who, decides to try and whatever, I was just like, this is a disaster. I told my brother, I'm like, so now I'm finally at a point where I'm like, okay, I feel I went through a lot. I have a great partner. I've got, I started a company, got rid of my tech company. And that's another loss. My ex-husband invested $7 million into my tech company. So either I had to pay him or shut it down. So 11 years of my tech company total, shutting that down. The same year,
Wow.
I lose my husband. I didn't have any children. I was like, I told my brother, I'm like, I wasn't going to ever kill myself or anything, but I was depressed as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my mansion on the beach. No one's going to feel sorry for me. No one's going to be. I was feeling sorry for myself, but money didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was, where am I emotionally? Why can't I attract just some man to enjoy this with?
Yeah.
That can afford himself, that I don't have to pay to be with me. I even thought about hiring male hookers.
Yeah.
To come entertain me. No joke. I literally was on there like, can I hire somebody to come give me a massage in my twat? Like anything. I don't care what it is. I just want to feel a little bit of something. No, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, I was going to hire male company. And I thought, well, that's stupid. This is no joke. And I thought, but then I I don't know. I was really confused. And
she'd have probably been better off to pay.
I would have been better off to pay. But I'm finally at a point where, I didn't get any money from my divorce. I got stock options and everything, and that was very good that I chose that route, but I had to remake my own money, remake my own life, remake everything, and I did a really good job doing that. But then, you get tired and you want to be loved. And okay, so now I've proven to myself that I can be just as successful as my ex-husband. Okay, now what?
Yeah.
Where's that man? Now I'm too successful. And so I think right now, like I had told Andrew, I finally just said, stop looking for love. Just focus on yourself. So I told him, I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna, get skinnier, which skinnier to me didn't mean for you. Skinnier was, I want this dress I've never worn.
Yeah.
This is my first time feeling comfortable in this dress. And I said, I will attract the right people, not just men, environment in my life. For you to be on my show and to have these great people means that I'm in the right headspace because now I can talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of that. And I think a lot of women out there who are going through these hellish times, especially after getting divorced in COVID. Because COVID just ended, what?
Years ago.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago.
It just seems like it's been
forever. Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, it took me 4 years to get over my divorce, Andrew. I'm just now, after 5 years,
starting
getting
to
over
love
my
yourself
divorce.
a little bit.
Yeah. And that you're going to attract different things. Like basically, like you're in this upward spiral now. So even if it's this guy, who knows? Maybe he sounds like he has everything. Maybe he'll accept.
Well, I want you to meet him.
Yeah.
He's really
But
excited. And
you're in an upward spiral. Like it's just gonna get better and better and better for you, because the better you feel on the inside, you attract better. And like you see your sister, you're probably like, she's amazing. Like she deserves the best. Yeah. If you could just,
stop being attracted to retards.
You are, but she's already. You're stopping.
My poor brother's like, God, I gotta come down there again. She's in bed drinking.
No, you're upward. You're in an upward spiral.
Is that what you feel?
Yeah, yeah.
You feel my spiral?
It's gonna get better
It's going
and
this
better.
way. It's not going this way.
No, it's not going. It's not going to be. I don't think it's ever going to be as bad as it was, because that you realize, the moment you realize, holy shit, I'm creating this. It sucks, but I'm creating it.
Yeah.
That's when you already start to change it, and you already went through that.
Well, I've learned also the power of manifestation. What do you think of that?
I'm all about it.
Are you?
I'm all about
Okay.
manifestation.
So it's not a conspiracy theory. It's actually real. If you think of the energy, it'll be there, right?
But Elizabeth, you've manifested your entire life, but some reason you haven't manifested a good man till now. So that's telling you something, that you're manifesting what you're getting.
Yeah, you are.
So if you're
always-
getting bad, that's because you're manifesting it.
How did I manifest a drug dealer for a gun in my head? I never even thought of that.
I know, but you figured it out.
I was watching Peaky Blinders, though, a lot.
It's from how you manifested it is from your like how you felt in that moment is probably how you felt in your childhood to some degree, right?
Wow.
Like you're always getting back the feelings. It's okay.
Stop it, Nicole.
You're moving.
We're supposed to be educating other people.
Yeah. This is how, because people are going to see your story and they're going to say, oh, wait a minute. But so we all do this. Like, how did I attract a emotionally abusive, narcissistic cheater, right? Because that was kind of my parents. They didn't see me. They didn't love me, Like I thought it was normal. We all do this until we don't. But the thing is that if you realize that the kind of negatives are attracting somebody, you also realize that when you're full of the positives, you're also going to attract that. So you really have all the power. Like,
So, Andrew, you have the power to tell your daughter to be positive.
No, I want my daughter to love herself, because if she loves herself, then she can attract someone that loves her correctly. That's the hope. I can't guarantee it's going to happen.
How do you teach her that, though? I mean,
by showing her that she's lovable and she's loved. If you, like, you and I, when we were young, we didn't really feel loved. So when we got older, we didn't think that was part of the need in a relationship. That was not very important. But when she's going to find this guy who's going to be a douchebag, and she's going to be like, you're an idiot, and walk on. And you and I would have dated that person.
Yeah.
Because they're idiots. And I'm like, oh, but they're pretty.
Yeah, they look
So
really good.
I'm trying to educate her to love herself and know that her worth. Therefore, she doesn't settle like we did.
yeah.
So
But
that's
I
the
think
hope.
like
That's the hope.
Our niece Cassandra, I'm worried. I'm like, gosh, our sister never, our niece, we love her to death.
She's 16.
My mother's raising her, my brother's raising her, my stepdad's raising her. I'm helping, and it's like her parents went away at a very young age, and she was around a lot of drugs and a lot of shit growing up, and really a bad childhood. But we pulled her out of it, and we
We're hoping we pulled her out soon enough.
Yeah.
Because right now she's an amazing
she's like,
girl.
she's getting straight A's. She's
Straight
like awesome.
A's.
We're worried that she's gonna just crack.
But you know what I've seen? Like, if you have a helper, I call it a helper. So when I've met people and both parents were really unloving, they have a really hard time. But when I've met people that one parent was really shitty, but the other one was really loving,
No,
they
these both were
have an
shitty.
easier time, because it's like you already kind of have a pathway. So if you guys are being the love for
Yeah,
her
we're
now,
like the other
Oh,
parent.
absolutely.
She's got a huge circle of trust
Yeah.
on one
Yes,
side,
yes.
and the other one's just shit.
Yeah,
the
you're
other
doing
one
it.
already got married again, has other families, and whatever.
It's
I'm not happy
You're her
with.
helper. Like you're gonna show her what it's like. And then when people have access way to that, when they're like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be loved, when they have that pathway, it's so much easier for them.
Well, so we don't want her to feel anywhere near abandoned like her parents did to her. I mean, they literally just left her.
Maybe she chooses better than we did when we were
And so we
younger.
want her to feel like, yeah, they left because they have personal issues. You know, drugs, you know, heroin's a really bad thing, and you'll never get them back. We try to tell her, look, it's not your parents, it's the drugs. We are here to support that ecosystem, and we are here, and you know, to ensure that you have whatever you need to succeed. And she's actually really grown to grabbing every tool she can. She's driving now. My mom is like, oh my God, she's gorgeous, and she's doing really well. She does attract the...
She's attracted.
She's
Her
dating
type.
now.
Her type is, you know, her type, and if it makes her happy, then that's what I'm happy for. As long as she's not attracting bad people just because they're the bad guy.
But she has Andrew as like the daddy figure, which is great, and Grandpa, who like, hi Cassandra,
Yeah,
and
the
Grandma was
whole
like, oh my God,
starting
I
the
gotta
dating thing at 16, and
She's like 70.
My daughter's 13, 3 years behind,
Yeah.
so I get like a practice run, and it's kind of already scary.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when your daughter starts dating?
I don't know.
Oh my
It's gonna
God.
happen. I've mentally prepared for this.
His
for
daughter's
it'll be
gorgeous.
She might be. I mean, kids these days, younger and younger and younger.
But the good thing is, the kids these days are having the least amount of sex they've ever had. They're dating later. They're not making these because they're all on their phones. They're not talking to
Kids
girls.
these days are what? Having the least amount of sex?
The
there?
least amount of sex that has ever been recorded is today's teenagers.
Why?
Because they're
That's
too
great
busy.
news.
They're too busy staring at their phones, so they're not hitting on the girl.
They can't have sex with a phone.
So
The AI virtual
the AI
porn star.
So
They're like, oh my God, they got the glasses on.
Or they're on Snapchat.
So that's a little bit of a help for me. You know, like maybe it'll take they're losing their virginity later. So
No shit, I didn't know this.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I don't know if it's
Is that
better.
true, Nicole?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's better, but that's the way it's going. So I'm just hoping that maybe I'm scared about the internet.
Yeah.
Because anything they do is there forever. And I didn't have that when I was a kid. And if I had that when I was a kid, it would be really bad.
Yeah.
So I just,
Yeah.
like, that just pretend you're always being
I would
watched.
have been on OnlyFans by now.
Yeah.
No, for real. I probably would have been a OnlyFans
If there was an
person.
OnlyFans when you were younger, why not?
I was like, I told myself, if I had to waitress, and if I can't make it, I'll always just be a stripper. And then that was like my backup plan. I was like, you know what? If I can't make my way through life, I'm just going to be a whore. No, I literally said that. I mean, luckily I was able to be smart enough not to ever be a whore or a stripper. But I was like, so if OnlyFans was there, it would have been way too easy to show my little toe, then go up to my little leg, and maybe show like my wrist, and then maybe
It's always more.
a slip of the nip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'd like to teach, these guys, love is important. Comfort is usually what makes everybody unhappy, is because they'd rather have comfort than love. And maybe they just have a little bit less rough time than we've had.
Yeah. Compatibility is like the most important thing. Too.
Yeah.
Nobody looks for that.
Daily Logic Check.
so what do you want to tell our audience? Like, what do you want to talk about? Something that's like juicy that we could talk about on the show?
Oh my
that-
God, what's juicy?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of right now. Like, I want to know. So on Housewives,
Yeah.
can we go back to that little subject?
Yeah.
They all get divorced. Okay, what is going on? Like,
Kyle and Mauricio, I was like, what?
is that real? Is this real?
They were like the couple.
Are they getting divorced for real?
I think they're getting divorced for real. Yeah. But I was shocked by it. I think everybody was
Okay,
shocked
does
by
he
that.
have a little girlfriend? I heard he has a girlfriend in like Texas or something.
I don't know. I mean, I know there's always, I think most of them are cheating. Probably on both sides.
I
and
think
all of them.
Kyle was cheating with the girl, right? So wait, is this a theme? Like after so many years with a husband and so many kids, and your vagina's like, screw it, I don't want a dick anymore. I'm gonna go lesbo.
Yeah.
That sounds like a common theme in the Housewives.
I think they're just, the
I think
guys
they get
treat them like such
attention.
crap.
I think if she is with Morgan, I think it's because she probably paid attention to her. But I was shocked with that one when they announced that they were separating. Because they were
Wow.
like the Housewives still standing couple.
Who's the lady with the restaurant that has the Vanderpump?
Yeah.
So that lady and her little old husband, they are so cute. You think they'll ever get divorced?
No, but I think that I remember watching one episode and Lisa was like, everybody cheats. And it made me think like,
I wonder who
if you think that, then probably you guys have some kind of arrangement.
Yeah, I think there's an arrangement there.
Yeah, I think they have an arrangement. And because the way she said, oh, everybody cheats, I was like.
Oh, no, I let my husband, after a while, knowing he was always going to cheat, these girls thought they were pulling one over on me. One of the girls wrote me like, he said that you guys had an arranged marriage. I go, well, welcome to the family, honey. She was pissed because I even wrote her back on Facebook, this Africa page. So I learned being with wealthy guy, he's always going to cheat. So I accepted it. So I think a lot of these housewives understand if you're going to be with a husband that's successful, you have to, like I told my husband, you need to have a budget for a cap. Like I get so much of your money every month, they get so much, but they only get this much. If you pay more in rent than you're giving me in jewelry a month, then fuck you. Like, so then as soon as I realized,
so messed up.
It's not. That's exactly how I thought. When I realized I got a Chanel diamond watch for Christmas and she got a fucking Rolex, go fuck yourself.
Wow, yeah.
That's when he's out the door. When he gave me a piano for my birthday and a Chanel thing, and then he took back the piano and like, basically gave me nothing, and I saw underneath our kitchen counter the same perfume he gave me in five different of the same perfume, telling me how special it was. Bracelets, I saw him have like loads of them. When I started getting the same jewelry that the mistresses were getting, I was like, okay, now I'm not special anymore. Now I'm just the wife.
See, that you realize it wasn't love.
Then that's when I knew it was coming. I either needed a divorce first and get my nut, or I was going to be one of those women that was like clinging on for dear life, like I think Mauricio and they were she was clinging on, and then she finally just gave up and was like, I want someone who loves me.
Yeah.
And he's definitely a good-looking man. There's no way in hell, So I think a lot of these women, I think men do. In my sick, twisted grow up and how I was with my ex-husband, it was just so dysfunctional. And granted, he was a good guy. But he had a fucked up way of showing it, showing that he loved me. It was the most fucked up way ever. Every time he'd fuck up, he'd give me jewelry. So I think these women and the housewives, that's why I thought I fit in so well. I married a rich guy that has mistresses, and I get jewelry every time he fucks a girl. Awesome. I mean, I got more rings and Rolexes. Ask Andrew.
What do you do with them?
Rolexes? I got them at Chase Bank. I got everything at a vault.
Yeah.
But how much jewelry do I have?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
And I told the guys that I'm dating, the gentleman that I'm dating now, I'm like, I want, when you give me a piece of jewelry, it's not because you cheated. It's because you love me.
Yeah.
And so
the right reason to give a gift.
I want that gift. And so I think a lot of housewives get these purses, and you see these material items. There's no way that material item's making them happy. When those cameras go off, they're like, fuck you.
Yeah. I think a lot of them are,
Right?
They're unhappy,
Don't you think?
I think.
Okay, so
because it's also LA. I mean, LA and just Hollywood and
what about, give me another couple that you think.
Oh, that I think. I mean, Dorit and PK. I used to really.
Yeah, so what's going on with Dorit and PK? Did they really get broke into?
Or,
they had some money issues.
Something's happening. But I used to really like them. Like, I thought, oh, this looks like a good couple. But then the more it's coming out, the more I'm like, oh, it's messed up. Something's messed up, And
something's odd with them.
He's away for long periods of time, longer and longer.
And then what else? Who's the woman with the husband that's in jail for the airplane crash? I'm having a brain fart. I love her.
Oh, Erica Jane.
Erica Jane, yeah.
So, but at least she knew. I feel like she knew. I honestly don't think she knew about all the crime. I don't think she knew. I mean, she knew he was cheating, but I don't believe she knew about the crimes.
Wait, he cheated?
Yeah, he cheated.
What?
Tom? Yeah.
He did? I didn't hear this part.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, she sent out like a text from like one of his mistresses. Like, he was cheating.
I didn't watch that part. Okay, so I believe she didn't know about the business because my ex was extremely shady, and I allegedly, and I didn't know any of his dealings. I was signing papers. I didn't know what they were. There was shit going on that I had no idea. I was told, sign here in the middle of the night. There was only a signage page. There was no 200-page document.
Yeah.
And so I truly believe she did not know anything about that.
I think so too. Yeah.
So are you happy for her that she's going through this?
Yeah.
Because she'll find herself later, right?
Yeah. I think it's good. I mean, he was old. I mean, I've never been with like an old, ugly guy. So like, is it, I mean, what's the appeal except for the money? Like,
mine was good looking. At least my ex was good looking.
Like, how did she have sex with him? That's what I'm wondering. Like, how did she do it?
You just
like,
close your eyes, drink a bunch of champagne, and take a Xanax. And I think it's just loosey-goosey.
It doesn't take, the girl doesn't have to do anything. If they don't really, really want to, it can still happen.
So I've never like had sex with somebody I'm not physically attracted
Really?
to.
Oh, I have.
No.
Ugh, God, it's disgusting. Oh my God. It's
so
like,
weird.
Jesus, wipe it, wring it, Botox it, do something, wrap it up. Oh yeah. No, but okay. So here's another thing. Why are all these housewives becoming lesbians?
Because they want love. They want attention.
Are women? I mean, because I dabbled in. I mean, on the housewives, I'm like, well, I'm a non-practicing bi. I like women. I like a little bit of vagina, but I will never. Sorry, Andrew. I would never like go from the dick to the vagina right away. I guess you think sexual preference is based on some dysfunction in your history, or is it based on just, is it for TV you think, or do you really think these women they like women? Because it's really given women a bad name. If they're not real lesbians and they're just trying to do it for TV, a real woman who likes a real woman, it's not really good for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, Unselling Sunset, Chrishell, and DG Flip. Like, I think they're really...
You really think they're a couple?
In love, yeah. I don't know about Kyle and Morgan. I mean, I think some women are bi, some women can go that way, and some women, like, they can't.
Huh.
So I don't know. I don't know about sexual preference. I mean, I've
Aren't you a psychic? Don't you know everything Nicole Moore love?
I've had some people.
You don't like vagina. Can't you tell me about it?
My hairdresser, he told me that he's gay, and he said that he had an experience of like molest and something happened to him at a young age, and that kind of changed his preference. But then I know other people who are like, no, this is how I felt. I think the housewives are. I mean, listen, was it publicity for Kyle? I mean. Yes.
Yeah.
But also probably she likes the attention.
I mean, I could see that. Like when I was telling Andrew I was confused, I thought, well, if I can't find a man, I can easily find a woman. I got women everywhere that I would eat. I could just be like, come on over, let's have a pillow fight. But, but that I didn't know if maybe that's where I should have headed. And so I didn't. I was like, no, I'm going to stick with the dude route because I really, really wanted a Viking cowboy. I wanted someone who made me feel protected, made me feel loved. And I found somebody right now. I think that he's doing a great job. I mean, he's healed himself. He had a little bit of problems, but I think he's healed himself. And I hope that, my audience, by watching this podcast today, are you planning on having any more children, by the way?
I don't know, because I feel like perhaps I would want a girl, but I have until I'm 42. That's
why.
Okay. So
explain this.
Okay, that's just my intuitive feeling, but also I have one of my clients is her name is Saskia Roel. She's an incredible fertility expert. She helps people with unexplained infertility, which I don't have, but she helps people get pregnant who have never could get pregnant. But she's also like a baby psychic. So I had this dream, and I'm like, I have until I'm 42 to get pregnant. And I got on the phone with her the next day, and I'm like, without telling her, I'm like, how much time do I have, Saskia? And she says, until you're 42. Like, seriously. So that's my intuitive feeling. So
logically, so for my audience, logically, manifestation is real.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you manifested her telling you that.
Yeah. So I think I have until then to decide. Okay. If I did, universe, if you're listening, I would want a girl,
So tell me about your show. Are you going to keep doing your show?
Yeah.
So tell my audience about your show. So you have...
Okay, so Reality of Love. Basically, I have stars from different reality shows come on, and each episode has a different topic, different theme, and we talk about love and relationships, and they also get to share their real selves, like unedited.
Where can we watch it?
It's on. You can go on Bespoke TV and find all the places.
But where's Bespoke TV? Because a lot of people are my age, which we don't know how to find them.
Oh, go to Bespoke. Go to their Instagram, or you can go on my Instagram.
So you just go on the internet. There's no. Do we click it on
the
TV?
internet. There's a bunch of different apps where you can watch it, or you can go.
So it's an online channel.
It's an online channel.
Yeah, it wasn't DirecTV. I don't know if you can watch it anymore on there. But you can go to also
So just Google Bespoke TV.
yeah. Or you can go to @realityofloveshow, which is my Instagram.
Okay.
For there, and you can find all the places.
Or just
to
Google
watch
you
it.
Nicole Moore Love and everything pops
And also,
up.
I have all the episodes up on my YouTube of season 1.
Oh,
I have all the episodes
and they
up.
can subscribe to your YouTube.
Yeah, so you can watch them on my YouTube. And yeah, for season 2,
When is season 2 coming out?
it's in progress. We're working on it. So I want to
Oh.
bring in more cool reality stars and just like get the real deal, because like you said, you don't talk about your love life that much all the time. So people want to know, people want to hear the inside scoop, and they want to see the real stars.
Can I come on your show with my Viking cowboy?
Yes.
Like, take him out of door number 1. Then I'll have all the gay guys I attract. Door number 2. Okay, Nicole, which one should I pick?
yeah. Come on again. I would love to have you. I mean, it was like incredible. I just want to say about Housewives, because I was with a different, like we had like 24 stars from all the shows, Netflix.
How did you get all those stars on there?
I did it myself. So I literally just messaged everybody and I just pitched it, and I got everybody on. I cast everybody. But when the Housewives episode, I was like, I really saw like these women are different. Like they're different reality stars, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to direct them. Like I some of the guests, I was just kind of like pulling teeth. The Housewives, I literally was like, I could just sit here and be quiet.
She literally just sat
this
there
would
and
be
was
a
quiet.
good episode, because they have so much personality. So the Housewives are like up here in my mind in terms of the reality.
See, Andrew, we're up here. Bravo knows how to pick them.
No. Like you guys really
I'm
are.
over here trying to stay away.
Yeah, I have a little surprise for the Housewife fans, but we can't announce it on my podcast. So, well, and okay, so they can go on your site, and then is there like a service you have that people can call? Is it like those psychics that used to call the 1-888? Call Nicole Moore Love.
No, I do. I mean, people can work with me privately if they.
It's all Zoom, right? From anywhere in the world.
They can work with me from anywhere in the world. Yeah, that's like if you.
I've got some Australian people Australian fans that just love.
I have Australian clients. I have clients all over the world. So so you can work with me privately. I have digital courses.
And can I see your card? These are your branded cards, right?
Cards, yeah. So
we stuck them.
Okay,
Andrew,
so
can she pull it off there?
I created that. So the reason I created this deck is because a lot of my audience is into psychics, and they will pay so much money for psychics. But I noticed, I'm like, if they tell you something good, you don't believe it. If they tell you something horrible, you're freaked out, and they weren't actually healing. So I'm like, let me create my own deck, which it really is. You really do get inside information, but then in the booklet,
we should have done that today.
I'm like, here's how you heal. So it's not just like information.
Okay.
It's kind of like for healing. You're gonna coach yourself through it with this deck. So that's why I created it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I really.
But it's accurate. It's accurate.
Oh, I wish you would have done yours today.
Yeah.
So do you do so? You know how little girls they think that they're in love and they think, oh, this is the love of my life, and you're trying to convince her it's not. It's okay that you do a breakup. Don't you think if they had a little teeny psychic they could call, like a little hotline, they'd be like, the real person on the other side's like, yeah, you're 16 and life to go.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that song from Guns N' Roses?
Yeah. No, I do. I mean, my clients, they'll send me like the screenshots of their texts with their guys, and they're like, what do you think? Yeah. They basically, I'm like, you send your crazy to me. This is what my clients do. It's like, send the crazy to me. We're not going to put it on him. And so the guy's like, this is the most amazing woman on the planet, because my clients are not freaking out on the guys. We're discussing it together.
Your soundboard. So they're like, okay.
Yeah. So they can message me daily. They're like, what do you think? This is what I'm feeling. So basically I help them not mess up their love lives, and then also find something good.
So happy to have you on today. And I'm sure everybody watching is happy to have you on. Nicole Moore Love. We can't thank you for being here enough and giving back, because what you've done and where you've come from in your life, the journey that you've been on really is a testament to why you are who you are, and how much love you can give to your clients, and how much healing you can share.
Yeah.
And I think right now the world does need a lot of healing. We need a lot of guidance, and somebody like you who has a sound state of mind can help a lot of the women or men out there that are just confused on where to go from here.
Yeah.
So today on our show, and actually on every show, Andrew and I wanted to be able to give back on every show. And our way of giving back was we're donating $1,000 to a charity of your choice.
Yeah.
So do you have a charity that you would pick?
Yeah, so
great.
it's one of my friend and clients' charities is called Cultivar Cartagena. It's in Cartagena, Colombia, and they provide resources and food and meals for the community there. And why I like it is because, you know, like you can really make a huge difference. Like she's trying to end food insecurity for that one region in Colombia.
Okay.
And she's got a big vision. And so
what's her name again?
it's called Cultivar Cartagena.
Okay, Cartagena.
And you know, I'm not from Colombia, but I'm Cuban, so it's also a little bit of, you know.
Oh, you're Cuban.
I'm half Cuban. Yeah.
New York Cuban.
Yeah.
Found love later. God, you're just like this love story. Because
So-
Cuban's sexy, right? Sorry.
Yeah, you know,
she's
she's ending food insecurity there, and she's providing meals for kids. And
wow. Okay.
it's a really great charity. She really cares a lot. So
Okay. You know, we're going to put the link on the video, but, you know, any amount helps. And I realize, you know, it's not a lot that we can do, but Andrew and I can at least post it.
Yeah.
And we can spread the word on the charity. And also, Andrew and I decided that we're doing like the first 10 interviews. We're giving a special little gift for being on our launch. So I have a little gift for you. Nicole Moore, love.
I love it.
Okay, here you go, honey.
Thank you.
It's kind of an odd little thing.
Ooh.
So, of course, we
like
have Vargas
it.
vodka swag.
I
you know.
love hats.
And you're going to go home with a bottle of
Love it.
vodka, of
Oh
course.
my God.
And then yes.
Oh my God. Should I open it now or later?
Now.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What
you
is
can move the
it?
white box away if you want, just to. Well, you know, we want to say thank you for coming on. I know you came all the way from Los Angeles. It was a long drive to Newport Beach, but
see.
I thought I'd give you a little. Andrew's like, I don't want one. I was like,
Oh my God.
is that just beautiful?
I love
That's their new line.
Wow.
Little heart. Because you
Thank you
share
so
love.
much.
So we wanted to share love.
Oh my God, I
with
love
you.
this. I love this. I was
No.
actually like in need of a chain. Wow.
Well, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you so
I
much.
Can't thank. And Andrew, do you have any other questions for the Love
No,
Guru?
thank you for being here.
And they can purchase your cards on your website?
Yeah, loveworksmethod.com.
What is it?
Loveworksmethod.com.
Loveworksmethod.com. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Nicole Moore, love, thank you for being here. Peace, love, and happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Daily Logic Check.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Daily Logic Check. I'm Elizabeth Vargas, your host, with my co-host, Andrew Vargas. If you like what you saw, you like what you see, click like, subscribe, follow us, and support us on Patreon. Peace, love, and happiness.
Daily Logic Check.